Okay, the only rule of Backbenders Club is that nobody talks about it. You'll need 2 blocks, a wall, and a strap. Sorry. And we're going to set ourselves up with a T shape with our blocks, and we'll lie on them. I like the top block to be high for my neck, and then the second block at its medium height between the shoulder blades. Coming down onto the blocks, resting the medium block between the shoulder blades, and then the head rests on the top block. Bring the bottoms of the feet to the earth so the knees point up. And reach your arms overhead and let the palms face each other. Take the shoulders away and down so that they're kind of hugging around the block. And then take the shoulders wide and apart as you extend the arms away from the body. Do that a couple more times, sinking the arm bones back, reaching them up. And then cactus the arms like a which way to the beach arm, folded at the elbow joint, and rock your elbows up and down. Again, you might feel some flossing action between the shoulder blades. So the interesting thing about our back bends is it's the ability to be strong in your own foundation, and then to bend over backward without losing your center. Reach the arms back up, touch your thumbs together, and then reach the arms directly overhead. So there is a couple key pieces to the back bend. The first, of course, is what happens in the low back. And oftentimes people will shove their pelvis forward, but we need a little bit of softness at the hips. Where the biggest part of the arc comes from is the 7th cervical spine, the neck. And then, of course, we have our shoulders and our shoulder mobility. Reach the hands back overhead, bring the palms to touch, and then bend at the elbow joints and reach the hands overhead. And you might need to wiggle your little head free until your shoulders kind of squeeze around the ears and the hands fall back. And then reach those arms up. Let's do that 3 more times. Palms touching, bend at the elbow joint, fingers touch the mat, and then all the way back up. And you might notice there's a bit of chatter, a little bit of popping or jumping of the muscles. Last one. And then release the arms, palms open, bring the bottoms of the feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. Feel the bottoms of the feet press together. And bring your hands to your low ribs. And as you inhale, breathe into the front of the lungs. And as you exhale, let it go. Inhale, breathe into the front of the lungs. Exhale, let it go. One more time, breathe into the front of the lungs. Release the breath. Release the arms, bring the feet to the ground, right arm overhead to roll off your blocks. Move the blocks out of the way, but easily accessible, and lie back down, hug your knees in. Take the arms out wide, let the knees fall to the left, eyes to the right. So our ability to side bend is beneficial for our back bends. Bring the knees through center, let them fall to the opposite side. And bring your knees through center, your eyes through center, cross your ankles, and take 3 full body rocks back and forth. And on your third rock, rise to a standing forward bend at the top. Bring the feet hip distance apart and let the torso hang. Rest your fingertips to the earth, the head is heavy. And start to rock side to side, foot to foot. So go almost like you're skiing, pinky toe edge, big toe edge, and then pinky toe edge, big toe edge, feeling the weight transfer side to side. And we do back bends, asymmetric, seated, on our knees. We do it on our backs. Inhale, lengthen, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, reach up, arms up. Release your arms. Feet are hip distance, catch your waist. You might even like them a little wider apart. Grab a hold of the waist, squeeze the tips of the elbows together, and all you'll do is push your pubic bone toward the wall in front of you. Not too much stress on the back, but feel the big toes start to grip the floor. So one day we drop back into a full wheel from standing, and this is one of the big pieces of that puzzle. Pull yourself through center, bring the feet together. Samastitihi. If you haven't already, begin to initiate the Ujjayi Pranayama. A slight restriction on the back of the throat. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Open your eyes, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step your left foot back, drop your left knee, point your toes, reach your arms up, and drop your pelvis forward. Feel the psoas of the back leg, feel the pinky toe, big toe grip. So the psoas is the muscle that holds the upper half of the body to the lower half of the body. Fingertips to the earth, lift the back knee, step forward. Step the right foot back, drop the knee, point the toes, palms up, sink your pelvis. Attempt to lift out of the pelvis as you get loosey-goosey in the front knee. Bring your hands to the earth. This time, step back, high plank, and lower all the way to your belly. Point your toes, tent the fingers off the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release. We'll do it 3 more times. Inhale, peel up, flex the glutes. Exhale, release. One more time, peel up. Release your chest, strike back, downward dog. Set your eyes on one particular spot and lift your right leg up. Bend it, stack it, reach through the knee in the sky. Send your leg high. Release your foot, opposite side, left leg up, bend it, stack it. Attempt to get into the nooks and cranny of the side body. Take your eyes forward, step your left foot and then your right foot up. Lengthen. Fold over the thighs. Stand up, palms touch, release the arms. Arms up. Fold in half, neck is heavy. Inhale, lengthen. Step your left foot back, drop your knee. Inhale, reach up. Hands down, step forward, lengthen. Step the opposite foot back, drop the knee, arms up. Hands down, step back, lower all the way to the belly. Tent the fingers, inhale, cobra. Release the chest. Cobra, peel up, ribs higher. Release the chest. One more time, peel up. Release your chest, push back, downward dog. And we'll stay a while. Put your eyes on one particular spot. Knit the sitting bones toward each other, lift up on the pelvic floor. Completing your exhale, eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, lengthen. Fold over the thighs. Stand up, palms touch, release the arms. A normal Surya A, arms up. Fold over the thighs. Lift your heart. Step walk, fly back, low push up. Roll over the toes, lift the chest. Downward dog, slide back. Take a good look at your feet. So the upward facing dog is the first time we truly experience an extension of the spine. There's compression in the vertebra all the way along the back. But for our back bends, it's the drishti, the gazing point, that gives us a sense of stability even though we're compressed on the back line. Eyes forward, feet between the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Fold over the thighs. Stand up, palms touch, release the arms. Catch your low back. This time, take your eyes to the ceiling and back. And exhale, fold, hands down. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, fly back, low push up. Spinal extension, chin up. Downward dog. Lift your right leg up and step it through. Drop your knee, point your toes, arms up, Anjani Asana. Bend your elbows back, big thumb and pinky finger together. Hands down, step back, low push up. Spinal extension over the toes. Downward dog back. Left leg up. Step it between the hands, drop the back knee, point the toe, arms up. With your hands touching, bend your elbows back by your ears. So when we're working a king variation, oftentimes people's elbows are in front of their face. So get the understanding of what it's like when the elbows are maybe in the periphery of your view. Hands down, step back, low push up. Over the toes, lift the heart. Slide back, upside down V. Get firm in the arms. Clear your navel center. Completing your exhale, eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, lengthen. Fold. Stand up, palms touch. Release the arms, adding on. Catch the waist, pubic bone forward, eyes up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, clear the abdomen. Step walk, fly back, low push-up. Over the toes, lift the chest. Down dog. Lift your right leg up. Step it between your hands and drop the back knee, arms up. This time, bend your back leg, and if it felt good, bend your arms as well. So this is a pretty intense hamstring curl. If you were at the gym and you were lying on your belly and you were lifting your heels to your bum with weights on your heels, that's the action. Release the hands to the earth, side angle from the floor up. Drop your heel. Take the right hand inside the foot, and if you like to bind, bind. So my point with the bind is I want to start to get into our shoulders. If you're bound, untangle the bind, hands down, step back, low push-up. Over the toes, lift the chest. Downward dog. Lift your left leg up. Step it through, drop the back knee, point the back toe, arms up. Bend your back leg and maybe even bend the hands. So again, more than anything, this is just a hamstring curl, activating the back line of the leg. Release the hands to the earth, side angle from the floor up. Drop the foot, take the left hand inside. And if you like to bind, go ahead and bind. Again, it's more for the grip. The shoulders, gorgeous rose. Untangle the arms, hands down, step back, low push-up. Over the toes, upward dog. Downward facing dog, slide back. Drop down onto the knees and get a hold of your blocks for a supported, melted heart. Flip your blocks so they're at their highest height. And then take your elbows over the edges of the blocks, bring the palms together, and then sink your head between your arm bones. So it might take a little while to get yourself set up. So when we do a Surya Namaskara A and we reach our arms back and palms together, we do it to prep for all the king poses. Let the front of the chest melt. You might even spike your sitting bones higher. And rising up, removing the blocks out from the way, downward dog, push back. Eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Stand up, palms touch. Release your arms. Take your feet hip distance apart. So we're going to hold our spotted back bend for 5 breaths. Catch a hold of your waist. Take a subtle bend into the knees and then puff the chest. Take your eyes back, take your chin back, breathe. All the way through center, fold forward. Catch your big toes, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, let the spine fall. Tip the weight over top of the middle of the foot, elbows wide. So after a back bend, we typically clear with core forward bending or a twist. Inhale, lengthen. Crow pose or a little squat. Tuck the knees on tops of the arms. You could pick it up. Eyes committed, protract the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Shoot back, low push-up. Spinal extension. Downward facing dog, back. Lift your right foot up and sweep it through for pigeon pose. The heel is really close to the pubic bone. The back toe is pointed and we might stop right here. Some of us might catch our waist and float using the inner thigh muscles for height. Some of us might reach our arms up. And just like that lunge, see if you could bend the back leg and reach your hands back. Don't worry, we will get the chance to bind. Release the foot, release the hands, three-legged dog, right leg high. Step your right foot between your hands for a really long triangle. Tent the fingers, left arm up. So again, we're attempting to clear, wring out the spine. Prasarita A, walk to the long edge of the mat, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, bow. So of course you could go upside down. You might like to dangle the torso between the thighs. Beautiful, exactly. Wow, perfect legs. 3. Yes, 2. 1. If the feet are elevated, put them down. Inhale to lift the heart and pivot to face the right leg for pigeon. One more time, lower the shin. So the option is to stay. The option is to bow or bend the back leg and reach back for your foot. So you might work right here. Some of you might turn it into a frog where you catch the toes and start to work them to the pinky toe edge of the foot down to the floor. Don't worry, we will get to do a bind, but this is a nice prep for the shoulder. Release the foot, tuck the back toe under, meet me in a high plank, but take your right foot and hook your right big toe, second toe, around the Achilles of the left and come into a plank. 3 push-ups, down and up. 2, 3, untangle, downward dog. Reach your left leg up. Sweep it through for a pigeon, but this is for the use of our strength. You might rest on the fingertips. You might catch your waist. So do you see how much power is necessary for us to take a back bend? You could reach your arms up. You might bend the back leg, bend the hands back. Check in with the elbows. You want them in the periphery of your view, not in front of your face. Untangle the posture, tuck your right toes under, left leg high, step it through for a really long Trikonasana. Tent your fingers, lift the right arm up. Yeah, and clear the back, so tailbone long, spine reaching right out from the pelvis. Release the hands to the earth, prostrate D, spin to the long edge. Catch your big toes, clear your belly, lift your heart, and fold head down. Elbows nice and high, thighs good and wide. Mula Bandha, so the pelvic floor has a little pearl at the base of the pelvis and we're supporting it and we're lifting it. Inhale, lengthen. Walk yourself to face your left leg for pigeon again. Lower the shin, don't worry, we will bind, but this is a nice variation. You might stay here, you might reach back to catch the ankle. You might take a frog grip where the hand comes to the big toe side and you flip your foot to work your heel outside your bottom. So when we're doing our back bends, often we sink into them, and then once we've got the variation, we lift up out of them. Untangle the foot, meet me in a high plank, but take your left big toe, second toe, and hook your Achilles. 3 push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Untangle your feet and come all the way to the belly. Take your left hand like half of an X across your mat and fold the right leg back and take a look at it. We want it to flop open. Reach back for your foot to catch the top of your foot. You might stop there. Some of you might be able to flip your fingers to line the toes and work your heel outside your hip. So this is kind of stage 1 of flipping the grip in a dancer, in a king. Release that posture, half of an X, opposite side, bend the left leg, let it flop, and then catch the foot and work the heel outside the bum. So we see this pose in the second series and we double it. We lift up our chest and we work our heels outside our hips. Release the shape, push back, downward dog. Clear the low belly, look up the wall, check in with the midline. So the midline is kind of pubic bone to between the brows, pulling our inner thighs and arms to the midline. Reach your right leg up again. Step it between your hands. This time it's a crescent lunge. Kick out through the back heel, arms up. Bend your elbows, thread the left arm under, take Garudasana arms, eagle arms, and lift your elbows up, hands away from the face. Get long through the low back. Untangle this pose, warrior 2, sink low. So there is definite fire and heat in the legs. We want warmth so that the spine wants to open. Half moon pose, right fingertips down, left leg up. So you might feel comfortable to bend the leg and catch the ankle. You might even be comfortable to take that little froggy grip to work the heel outside the hip. Wherever you are, stay 3, 2, 1. A standing split and a big step back to drop the back knee, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge, or a variation of crescent. So this will be an option to bind, and again, you might be happy just the way you are. You can bend the back leg and catch it. You might slide your hand to the big toe edge of the foot and work your elbow to hook your big toe. Your big toe is held by the elbow, and then you might intertwine the fingers and slip the right hand back for what we call a mermaid bind. The stage before the king grip. Releasing the posture, hands down, step back, downward dog. Take a moment, feel the difference right to left. Lift your left leg up. Step it between your hands to build crescent lunge with the knee elevated. Lift your arms up. Find length in the spine and then bend the elbows, right arm under, Garudasana, eagle arms. And this is so important because the elbows touching together is actually what we're doing in a king. Open wide, Virabhadrasana B, warrior two, low in the hips. So creating some warmth, obviously, so that the back at least allows us to bend. And know that some days your spine will feel very tight, so respect that. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, pick it up. You might be happy, hand on the hip. You might bend the leg in the sky, catch the ankle. You might work that little froggy grip, working your heel outside your hip. Untangle the bind, take a standing split, and then a big step back for Anjani Asana. Drop the back knee, climb up. So this might be our pose. Some of you might bend the back leg, catch the top of the foot. You might work your toes to the crease of your elbows, maybe touch the fingers together, maybe slide the hands back in a mermaid bind. Release your bind, plant your palms, down dog. Shift your weight forward to a plank, and on the count of 5, get to your belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tent your fingers off the mat. So we're gonna lift our chin, our eyes, lift our low ribs, and lift our belly buttons up. Stay with the fingers tented. Feel the big toes, pinky toes crushing down. Now let's release it the way we entered it. Go belly button, low ribs, chin, forehead. So forehead up, chin up, low ribs up, belly button up, lift up, hold it. Let the head be last. Belly button, ribs, chest, chin, forehead. One last time. Chin up, low ribs up, belly button up, nice and high. Cobra. And come all the way to the belly, forehead to the floor, point your toes. Intertwine your fingers behind your back, glue your big toes together, come up, Shalabhasana. Lift the hands away from the bottom, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Stay nice and high. So for many of us, the rhomboid muscles along the spine are weak, so back bending is challenging. Release the posture, plant your palms, downward dog. Clear it out. So the belly button draws back, the heart hammocks like it didn't even happen. Take your eyes forward forward, take your feet forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Stand up, palms touch, release the arms. We're gonna take dancer's pose a couple different ways. You'll be on your left foot. Cross your right foot behind so that you're like almost like a curtsy, and catch a hold of the top of your foot. Now send your leg directly back behind you, and your right hand supports your right leg to lift it higher. So this is kind of an asymmetric back bend. It sort of is like an Ardha Chandrasana, a half moon. And release the foot. Take a moment, land, blood rushes. Opposite side, weight into the right foot, cross the left leg over, catch the top of your foot, and then lift your knee up and crawl your left hand to your thigh or inner knee and lift the foot up. Release the shape, samastitihi. So the feet will be hip distance apart. Take a moment, blood rushes, we land. Dancer's pose with the option to strap it up with a king bind or catch it in a mermaid bind or catch the ankle. So we're on our left foot. Option 1, catch the right ankle. Option 2, tuck your toes into the crease of the elbow joint and touch your fingers together. Option 3, slide the hands back, coming into a mermaid bind dancer or regular. And release the pose. Take a moment, it lands, we land. Opposite side, anchor into the right foot. Catch your ankle, stage 1. Catch the inner edge of the foot and tuck the foot to the crease of the elbow, fingers touch, stage 2. Maybe slide the hands behind the head, stage 3. Of course, if you want to strap up for a king bind, do that. And release the pose, close your eyes, take a moment, feel the feels. And then using a wall only to support yourself with one hand. So if you're near enough a wall, you'll have it there. So we'll talk about flipping the grip, and we're not going to go all the way unless it felt like a good option. It's very awkward. So lift your right foot up and flex it out to the side like a frog. And then reach your hand, your right hand, to catch the big toe side of the foot. So think about it like a server holding a tray. So what would happen if we went into the full dancer is the knee would drop, the toe would point, and the arms would slide up. So some of you might even go into full dancer. So you drop the knee, point the toe, roll the shoulder, and up you go. You've got your wall. 3, 2, 1. Release. And use a wall to support yourself with your right hand. Froggy the left foot, and then reach the left hand to catch the top of your foot. You might stop there. Some of you might drop the knee, point the toe, roll the shoulder up. King dancer. You might use your strap. We'll stay 3, 2, 1, and release. We'll clear it with Padahastasana. Bend your knees and put your hands under your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, head is heavy, eyes up the wall. So in my experience of
bending, there is nothing better than the use of a wall. What's beautiful about a wall is that it holds the body in place so that the foot can't slip and slide, and it also almost pins the psoas muscle. Take your eyes up the wall behind you, last couple breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Crow pose one more time. Hook the knees, lift the feet back to help us back to homeostasis. And then step walk, fly back, vinyasa, downward dog. Drop down onto the knees and set yourself up with your wall. So the short edge of my mat's gonna butt against the wall, and we'll have our blocks, and I can promise you this is honestly the greatest gateway to better back bends. The blocks will be used underneath our hands. We'll take our left knee and shin against the wall. And a little peek, like make sure that the foot is directly up from the knee joint, and then step your right foot forward. And you'll probably notice immediately that the shin is pinned and it feels a little bit different than when you're doing it simply using your quadriceps and hamstrings. You might need to maneuver so it's not pulling on the patella, the knee. So this might be as far as you'd like to go. Some of you might like to reach your arms up, maybe bend at the elbow joint and just like little crawl down the wall to see if you could get your head to the wall, maybe elbows to the wall. Coming all the way up, we'll clear this with an L-shaped handstand. So walk up the wall, feet against the wall, and toe tap. Stay 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step down and put the opposite shin against the wall. So this time it's the right shin, and this is the moment of reckoning, like, one of my psoas is way different than the other. Set yourself up so the toes are directly up from the knee, and then drop your pelvis forward. So that, my friends, is your psoas and your quadricep. For many of us that are quite active, our psoas and our quads are quite tight. You might stay here, you might reach your arms up, you might bend the arms back, trying to get your head and your elbow joints to the wall. Coming all the way up, we'll clear it with a forearm stand L shape. So some of you might like a headstand base, some of you might like the forearms to the ground, some of you may just take a down dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Sit back. We'll take king pigeon with the use of the wall. Again, what I love about it is that it pins the foot and you get to see if there's any crookedness in the spine. Use your blocks. The right knee is forward, the left shin is up the wall. You might drop your pelvis nice and low to the hips. And just take a couple moments, and this could feel significantly different than when you do it without a wall.
And you might stay right there. Some of you might reach your arms up. You might reach your hands back. You might start to drop your head. Come all the way up. This time, a seated twist to clear. Drop your right hip and stomp your left foot to the top of your thigh. Spin your left hand behind your back. Hook your right elbow on your knee. Spin it. Clear out the abdomen and check in, like, where is there tension after that? That's a very deep back bend. Untangle the shape. So you could do a little headstand switch, or you could just switch. So the left knee is down and the right shin is up against the wall. Taking your blocks so that you get some height. You might peel your pelvis away from the wall. Nicely done, yeah, cat. Then just a little feel, how am I, what's this like? And either stay just the way you are or start to reach the arms up and reach back for your foot. Gorgeous Airdrie. Yeah, go for it, D. Yeah, cat, catch that foot, catch that foot. It's right there, catch it. 3. Yes, 2. 1. Untangle, sit on your left hip and stomp the right foot outside the edge of the thigh. Spin the right hand behind the back, catch your elbow on your knee and spin it. Clear it. There is a quality of surrender in the back bends because it's scary. I find them to be one of the most frightening postures because of back pain, shoulder pain. But if your bandhas are active, you'll be safe in your back bends. Take your eyes forward, untangle. You'll actually be facing away from the wall. It's okay for a virasana, a hero. So slip yourself down between your heels. You might like a block. And I can't stress this enough, and it's so bizarre, but when we're doing Ustrasana, our feet are as important as our hands when we're moving from down dog to the top of our mat. So right now, grip with your toes, try to get the tops of the feet off the mat. And then slide back. Hopefully your wall's not in the way. Mine is, but maybe slide back to a sleeping hero if it's appropriate. Get long through the low back. So traditionally in Ashtanga Yoga, we do an Ustrasana, a camel. We do a Legu Vidrasana, a little thunderbolt, and then we move into a posture called Kapotasana. And we're just going to peek at these today and see what's available. Rising all the way up out of this, you might take a little headstand to clear. Some of you might take a high plank. So just make sure the knee joints feel good, the ankle joints are set. And then coming all the way down and spin around so that you're facing your wall. We're going to take an Ustrasana, a camel pose, and our pubic bone is going to stay close to the wall. So bring your feet about hip distance apart, and you might like to tuck your toes. Your fingertips can tent, and you can think of it like our undulating cobra. So put your chin on the wall, then put your forehead on the wall. Then lift your eyes up, lift your chin up, peel your ribs away from the wall, but keep your pubic bone on the wall and see if you could reach back for your heels. Keep your pubic bone against the wall. Pubic bone forward, you might drop your head back. Pubic bone to the wall, thighs to the wall. And come all the way up, forehead last. Slide away from the wall and then pivot so that you're facing away from the wall. Sit back. So when we're doing our Ustrasana, we're trying to do two things at once. We're trying to get our pubic bone really, really far forward, and we're trying to get our chest really, really far back and yet together. So it's a complicated Rubik's Cube. Let's work an Ustrasana with our hands on the wall. And you might say, no, thank you, it's too overwhelming. I'll be about an arm's length from the wall, if not farther or closer. Closer means less intense. So the feet are hip distance apart, the knees are hip distance apart, just like our standing back bend, trying to get the pubic bone to the wall. Take your pubic bone to the wall, hands to the heart. You might stop there. You might drop your eyes and reach your hands back like a little gecko. Hold it with your arms. Pubic bone forward. And all the way up, the head is last. Sit back. Legu-Vidrasana, little thunderbolt, and I'll show it from the ground up, and then I'll show it from top to bottom. Feel free to stick with Ustrasana. So from the bottom to the top, I'm in hero's pose. So I'm back and I feel relatively safe and good. I'm going to tent my fingers like I'm about to do full wheel and lift my hips up and lower my head. I'm going to walk it in, lift my hips up, lower my head, and if I feel safe, I'll catch the meat of my calves. To exit, tent the fingers, come down. Ustrasana, or little thunderbolt. And you could work with hero if you're like, that's a bit aggressive for a Wednesday morning. But the surprising thing about little thunderbolt is it's not a lot of intensity on the spine. It's not a deep back bend so much as a psoas opener, a quad opener. Yeah, well, lift those hips, cat, hips up, hips up, hips up, hips up. Yeah, there it is. Walk it in and catch the meat of your calves. There it is. Head, trust your head. There it is. You got it. You got it. Use the arms. Use the arms. Beautiful. Yes, Rach. Couple more breath. Nicely done. Come all the way down. Come all the way up. Meet me on all fours. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the eyes. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Two more, clear it out. And then coming forward onto your belly and roll over onto your back. Tuck your right knee to your chest, maybe extend the left, and then cross the right knee over the body a little bit like we started with the twist. Take your eyes through center, take your knees through center, opposite twist, cross it over. Bring your eyes through center, bring your legs through center. You might like to take your Shavasana with your legs up the wall. You might like just to lie on your back. I like to put a block under my pelvis as I crawl those legs up the wall, taking an inversion in Shavasana. Drape the shoulders under the back, take an inhale. One more. Swallow. Signal to the body that the work is done. Go to the periphery of the body, the outline of your body. So fingertips, toes, thighs, head, back. Like you have an outline of chalk around your body. And then see if there is an energetic field that extends beyond the little circumference of your body. A buzz, an energy, a vibration. So we are definitely our bodies and we are definitely our brains, but there is no separation. You know, the body sends a signal to the hand to move. And proprioception is to be able to send cues to our body quicker and more specifically. Your yoga practice, your backbending practice is the ability to be strong and steady in your stance, but still have the flexibility, the grace, and the generosity to bend over for another, to give your heart to another. Take a deep inhale. One more. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and tuck your knees to your belly. Roll over to the right. And come to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. And there is a promise with the practice that what's ever meant to stay will stay. No work is